Hello, everyone, and welcome to a new episode of Set Lessing Bruce, your podcast all about Bruce Springsteen, his music, and mostly his fans. I am your host, Jesse Jackson. Joining me for a return visit is one of my favorite guests, Laura. Laura is always energetic. She loves talking about Bruce and everything else going on. So, Laura, welcome back to the show. How are you doing?
Great. It's been one of my best days in a while.
Yes, you were telling me a little bit before we hit recording. You got a 5-star review. You got a great grade on a test. I mean, hey, go buy a lottery ticket, huh? So, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Wow, I'm old enough. I mean,
yes.
I'm 20. Am I old enough?
I think so. Yes.
Oh.
So, how's school going?
Pretty well. So this semester I'm taking 19 credit hours, which is a lot.
That is a lot.
Mm-hmm. I didn't know that my study abroad trip to Paris over spring break, which by the way is in like 8 days about. I'm going to Paris.
Oh, how exciting.
Mm-hmm. Where was I going with that? I didn't know it would be 2 credit hours.
Okay.
Like it count as 2 credit hours. So I thought I was taking 17 this semester, but I'm taking 19. And I mean, it's a trip to Paris. I've never been to Europe. I'm not gonna throw away my shot.
There you go.
They would say in Hamilton.
I was just gonna say, as the Hamilton reference, we always appreciate that. How long will you be in Europe? How long will you be in Paris?
About a week.
Okay.
It's not terribly long, but it's spring break and I'll take it.
Is there a set kind of there are certain items and places you're going and that's how you get the credit? Like, is it with a group, or tell me a little bit more about that?
So you do assignments about the trip.
Okay.
Like collections. The class is specifically about Disney. It's an honors seminar, and those like honors seminars are pretty.
Okay.
They're not related to anything. They're probably like major. It's more of a niche topic that you just dive into.
Okay.
And this one is about Disney, and the professor has always wanted to find a way to make study abroad or a trip possible for this trip. So a few years ago, he kind of found a loophole and was like, there's a Disney in Paris, because it was hard to, I guess, coordinate a trip to Florida or California because it's local and you can't really partner with study abroad for that.
Well, okay, good for you. So I'll tell you what, let's plan on you in a month or two coming back and you telling me about your adventures. The only thing would be better is if Bruce was playing that week, right? Like you could dock out, oh, let me see the E Street Band and get 2 credit hours.
Yeah, I would, or a Hungry Heart show, that would have been cool.
That would have been very cool.
Yeah, I was hoping. I mean, I knew it was probably a long shot, but I was thinking to myself, if Bruce comes, no, whatever I have to do during the trip at that time, I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna see Bruce.
Well, so Laura, and by the way, give a quick introduction to yourself, and then we'll get back to our conversation. In case someone's never listened to you on the show before, tell us a little about yourself.
My name is Laura. I am 20 years old. I am turning 21 in May. Ooh, that's cool.
That's a milestone.
Yeah, and I'll get to drink while I'm in Paris. That's cool. I am a college student. I love college. I love learning. I'm studying sociology, French, Spanish, and international studies. Did I say I'm from New Orleans?
You have not yet, but yes.
I'm from New Orleans. That's pretty cool. And my favorite song is Thunder Road, and I've been a Bruce Springsteen fan since I was 7.
Yes. It's so great. Yeah, we've you've been on multiple times. We talked about it. We were talking before I hit record. You and Rachel are 2 of my on the younger time frame of guests I've had, and I was so happy that both of you got to go to Bruce this summer on Broadway. Both of it was your first time seeing Bruce perform live. And so it was really neat because the way it worked out, I was able to put both of the episodes out the same week and kind of, have 2 different, both articulate, energetic people share their stories. So that made me very happy.
I liked that a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, you know, I've told this story a couple times, Laura, but a few years ago, I worked for a company that had an office in Winnipeg, Canada. And two things. One, there is a passionate Springsteen fan that had this social media campaign, Bruce come to Winnipeg, with Bruce come to Winnipeg, because he's never played in Winnipeg. And at the time I was like, yes, please, because our office is there. I can fly to the office and see Bruce, right? Two things. That didn't happen, but Brian Wilson from the Beach Boys did play in Winnipeg. And I did time it where I got to fly in, have my business meetings, and then go see Brian that night in Winnipeg. Was kind of like this, I felt like I was playing hooky, right? Like I'm supposed to be there for business, but instead I got a concert out of it. So that'll be fun. There'll be some, you'll see some great art, and there'll be some kind of music on your trip, I would think. Do you have your playlist ready for the plane?
No. So on the plane, I am flying from Atlanta to Paris.
Okay.
About 8.5 hours. I'm debating on something. I'm not bringing my laptop, but
Good.
it's 8 hours, and my international studies professor told the class, if you want to work on your exam during spring break, you can either turn it in before spring break, get it out of the way, or you can work on it during spring break, whatever is fine with you.
Yeah.
And I told him that I might consider that I have this trip, it's 8 hours. I might consider working on the final, and I'll turn it when I get back.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not going to do the whole final during spring break. If I'm gonna work on it, most likely I'm gonna have started it before. I don't want to do the whole thing.
Yeah.
Because I don't even know what my energy will be.
Yeah. I will tell you, I've flown to the Philippines twice, and the flights are like 12, 14 hours. And, you'll see, like I've watched like 4 movies, and I'm only halfway through the flight. So it can be very long. Well, great. That's going to be exciting. I can't wait to hear all about the adventures. How is it back being not virtual? Because the last time we talked, you guys were still virtual. You're doing your university thing virtual. How is it being back in person?
At this point, it feels normal, but with a mask.
Okay.
I mean, to be fair, I wasn't the one to like party all the time in my freshman year before the pandemic.
Yeah.
So maybe to others who are more party animals, maybe it seems terrible to them. But to me, it just feels normal, but with a mask, and not completely normal, but normal enough with a mask. So I don't really have much to complain about there. I am worried about packing up my apartment when school ends.
Yeah. How close are you to graduation?
I'm expected May 2023. I might decide to do another trip for summer 2023. So I might decide to graduate then. But if I graduate in summer 2023, I'll do commencement for May 2023, and I'll just have an asterisk by my name that says summer 2023.
Okay, good. Well, that sounds exciting. I get, we're all disappointed there's no tour. Are you thinking about going to Tulsa to see the Bruce Springsteen live exhibit that they just announced?
I never in Oklahoma.
Yeah, it's in Tulsa, Oklahoma. It's a Woody Guthrie Center. That's about a 4.5-hour drive from me in Dallas. And so there is a Woody Guthrie museum is there, and they are having a Bruce Springsteen live exhibit that's going to be on like April through September, where they have one of Clarence's saxophones, they have one of Bruce's iconic guitars, all kinds of others. It's going to be a miniature, Rock and Roll Hall museum exhibit. So it sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun.
I might try and fit it in, but as in the near future, I don't have any plans.
Okay, good. Well, I keep me posted. I'm trying to figure out if I can do some kind of like coordinate, like pick a June or July weekend and say, okay, everyone come and let's all go together, and then we can do meals together, and maybe we can do some live episodes, record. So we'll let you know that that'll be fun.
Mhm.
All right, so you reached out, and so first off, anything before we get to, you had said you wanted to talk about the Never Have I Ever list, but is there anything else you want to cover, both in Bruce Land, or any thoughts that you've had that you want to talk about and share?
Um, I have a podcast idea, but I haven't gone much far with it.
Okay.
I don't really know if I want to pursue it or
Okay.
not.
Well,
So
think about it, and I will certainly help you any way I can and give you any advice, or any help I can do getting it. So that would be great.
it's Bruce related, and
Okay.
I don't know. I have to look more into it, but
Yeah. Okay, let's think about that. Let's keep it going.
mhm.
So all right. So a few weeks ago, I guess maybe a little bit longer, my Peter Chianca from Blogness on the Edge of Town came up with a Never Have I Ever Bruce Springsteen edition. And most of you, if you guys have been in social media, there's a lot of this Never Have I Ever. Gotten a tattoo, stayed out all night, slept on the floor, slept on the street to buy tickets, or whatever you want. And there was a Bruce Springsteen edition. He and I went out, and so you wanted to go through and talk about it. So we've got the list up. Do you want to? Are you counting the points? Are you going to count your points, or you just want to talk about some of them? How many do you think you're going to get that you haven't done? You don't get a point for doing it. It's if you haven't done it.
Half?
Haven't.
Half. I mean, half the.
Yeah, you think half? Okay. All right, that's good. So all right.
Yeah, I don't have a pencil on me.
That's
so
okay. I got it. I'm going to do that for you. So I'll track it for you. Okay. All right. We're going to start out with a couple easy ones. So I assume you've jumped up.
I have.
And you've turned around.
I have.
And you spit in the air.
Like literally spitting?
I don't know. I think let's discuss it. What do you think? What do you, is that good enough whistling? Maybe just,
I can't whistle.
I can't whistle either. So you would say you have not spit in the air.
Not that I can recall.
Okay. All right. Fell on the ground?
Definitely. I've been in a cast with a broken arm.
How about how about threw up?
Yep, definitely. I went through this period of morning nausea when I was in senior year of high school.
Yes.
And I was like that kid in elementary school who was nauseous all the time.
Yeah. So, all right. So I feel creepy asking this. So we're gonna say fool around in the dirt.
No, I have not.
Okay, there we go. We're gonna move on, unless I feel like a creepy old guy. Played some pool.
I have.
Have you skipped some school?
I have not.
You've never played hooky?
For what?
It's skipped some school. Have you never skipped school when you were supposed to be? You've never played hooky?
I always attend class.
Very nice.
Unless is like school some metaphor that I don't know about?
No. They're okay. This is from song lyrics. So when he says we're gonna play some pool, skip some school, act real cool. So
for a second I started questioning and thinking, is skip some school a metaphor for something? I don't know.
No. So yeah, so from the lyrics of that, so you don't play hooky. Even in high school, you know the reason why is Bruce wasn't touring where you could go, because see, at this point, if there was a show, you would play hooky, right? You would go, of course, you would probably go to your professors and say, hey, I'm going to have to end up missing for a concert. Tell me in advance what I need to cover. So it'll be
Yeah,
excused.
that would be me. Or this might sound really bad, and I probably shouldn't be admitting to this, but my professors, they like love me. They respect me so much
Yeah.
that if I told them, oh, I have a family emergency, uh, uh, and so I won't be there. It's a family emergency. Do I need an excuse? And then
Yeah.
they'll be like, oh, no, you go
Yeah.
ahead, honey.
So I'll tell you, and this is one of the reasons I love doing this list, uh, because it gives you a good chance to talk. Um, so when my son was younger, we would always play hooky on opening day of baseball season. We would have tickets for the baseball game, and this was back when the Texas Rangers weren't very good, so it was easy to get opening day tickets. And so he wouldn't go to school that day. And, when he was young, like the second or third grade, he started freaking out, like, what are we going to tell the teacher? What are we going to tell the teacher? And I'm like, we're going to tell him the truth. You're going to the baseball game. Because, I think that whatever you're going to learn in third grade that day isn't as important as you spending the day with your father, spending the day playing, watching baseball. So
When I was in sixth grade, I tried to convince my dad to skip school, for me to skip school, because Bruce and Obama were in town.
okay.
I'm like, Bruce.
It's Bruce. It's President Obama. Come on.
Yeah, and I think I could be wrong. I don't recall, but I think Jay-Z and Beyonce might have been there. I don't
Yeah.
know. But
Okay.
I know it was definitely.
Yeah. Yes. Well, see, if I'd been your father, I'd like, heck yes, let's go.
Yeah.
I'm real bad about that. Okay. So, all right. You've acted real cool. I mean, come on.
I mean, does that mean pretend like you and try to impress people? Like you try to like put up a front of what others will think is cool, or is it just in general?
I think just being cool. I think it's so I think you don't get the point for that.
Oh
Ha-
darn.
have you stayed out all night?
Is that like staying up all night or staying outside all night?
So I think it's staying up all night. In other words, where you leave and you're not getting back home till, the sunrise is happening.
I'd say so.
Okay.
Not as often, but
Yeah. Oh, I haven't done that too much, but there are a couple of times. All right. Have you wasted your summer praying in vain? Now that's
I'd
a
say
different one. Yes. You think you've wasted your summer sometimes?
well, wasted is a strong word, and I don't
Right.
like to look back thinking I wasted something.
Yeah.
But there are I just that for some reason that line just has always spoken to me, and I've
Yeah.
always related to that song. So maybe I didn't necessarily waste the summer because I don't like to think about it like that.
Yeah.
I just feel like I have.
Okay. Got it. All
I know
right.
how to explain it really
Got to
well.
work late and the boss man's giving you hell. You don't strike me as someone that's going to be very tardy very often, either at school or a gig.
I hate being late.
Yeah.
I always arrive early, so
Okay.
so I'd say you can give me for that one. I haven't.
Okay. All right.
Give me a point.
Okay. Good deal. All right. How about slept in an old abandoned beach house?
Maybe not.
But you
You
slept
can
in
give
it.
me. I don't know. I don't think I have thinking about
Okay.
it.
So you've not slept out over, in an old house or anywhere. All right. Have you combed your hair in a rearview mirror? Of course. All right. Have you huddled on the beach in a mist?
I don't really like the beach that much.
Right.
I know. Is that like does mist mean like
Yes, like where it's just starting to rain, maybe at the storm's coming in, you're on the beach, and I think you could do any field. I think you could give yourself, if you give that either way.
I'm gonna say no.
Okay, good deal. Got you. All right, next. How about met neath a giant Exxon sign or another fuel company? So is there a huge like Texaco or Mobile Sign? I'm trying to think in New Orleans or where other places you might been.
I'm gonna say I haven't.
I didn't either. That one is one I had to give myself a point for too. All right. Worked in the fields till you got your back burnt. Have you spent any time doing farm chores, gardening?
This summer, I went to my childhood camp and we gardened and we worked with animals on a farm.
Nice. Very good.
Yeah,
All right.
and I'm a city slicker probably,
Yes.
and it wasn't terrible, which surprised me.
Okay. I like it. Okay. This one, I think all of us have done. Turn the
Mhm.
radio up loud so you don't have to think.
I've been doing that more often. Like
Yes.
I've done it before, but now I'm doing it more often. I normally am very meticulous and prepared with my schoolwork, but as a result, I feel like because I'm using the radio too loud, so I don't have to think, I honestly feel like I'm living on the edge more. And to others I still might seem prepared,
Yeah.
but relative to what I'm normally at, I am less prepared.
Okay.
And so that's been going on recently because of the radio.
All right. Have you gone racing in the streets?
Maybe not literally, but
yeah, like I thought of this, if you're at the red light, right, and you look at the person next to you and like you kind of start the car a little faster, or you kind of speed because you need to get in the lane.
I don't have my license.
Okay.
So you can give me a point for that.
Okay, good deal. All right.
Bruce didn't have his license at my age.
Absolutely, he didn't.
And Bruce is pretty cool, and so that's my excuse when people are like, Laura, why don't you have your license? That's weird or whatever, or they judge me for it. And I just say, if Bruce didn't have it, why should I have it? I mean, Bruce.
Yep. What would Bruce do? So I got you. All right. Have you worked all day in your daddy's garage?
Don't think so.
Okay. Does your when Peter and I talked about it, I showed the story and he did too, that like my stepfather taught me how to change oil in a car. And he would, even though like he didn't own a garage, but he would have me teach, he would try to teach me how to do things with cars. So okay, that's no point unless, has your dad taught you how to change the spare in a car? Okay. All right. Then that's a point. All right. You've not done that.
I probably should know, because I feel like that would be a survival skill. Like,
yeah,
if it happens to you in the middle of nowhere, and you got
no signal.
I feel like you should know, because you don't want to have to rely on people for that.
Right.
Most people are.
All right. Drove all night chasing some mirage. So since you don't drive, but have you and your friends drove and kind of chasing a mirage?
I feel like I have, but metaphorically.
I think that counts. I will allow it. All right. How about drove that dusty road from Monroe to Angeline?
Where is that? There's a Monroe, Louisiana.
Absolutely. So have you ever spent any time in northern Louisiana?
Not really.
Okay.
I mean, and it's to Angeline. I feel like I can know if it's made up or not.
Yeah.
I feel like it is.
Have you driven all night to buy some shoes?
Once my senior year of high school, my mom drove me to an outlet mall that was an hour away to just celebrate or spend time with me.
Yeah.
And we got shoes, and I still have them. So does that count?
I think that you don't get a point for that, my friend. All right. How about, have you lost your money? Have you spent either misplaced money, or have you spent money unwisely, like lost a bet?
I am very frugal, honestly.
Okay.
But I feel like if I've lost money, like physically, like lost money, can't find it, I probably know about it. Okay. Like if I have, I don't know about it. So you can give me a point for that.
All right. Lost your wife, / significant other. So nope, no breakdowns yet, no breakups yet. Okay.
I am 20 and I've never and I've never been in a relationship
Okay. No rush. No rush.
rush, but I
Yes.
mean, I don't know. When it happens, it'll happen if it
There you go.
happens.
Absolutely. Got stuck in traffic down on 53rd Street. So I would say you ever got stuck in traffic, period, you can't count that one. It doesn't have to be 53rd Street.
Who hasn't gotten stuck in traffic?
Exactly. Yes. All right. Went out for a ride and never went back.
I mean, I moved when I moved, I'd say that my other town that I used to live in,
Okay.
I don't I sort of wanted to start new.
Okay. So I think no point for that.
So moving
Nope.
moving was sort of
You
symbolic of a new
exactly.
start.
I agree. All right. Met your girl down on the block. Doesn't have to be a significant other. Could just be a partner, a friend, a buddy. So have you met your a friend down on the block to go do something fun?
What do you mean? Like we met up
Yeah,
or
met your, met your girl down on the block. So you met your partner, your friend. You guys met because you guys are going to go down to the French Quarter, or you guys are going to the school, we're meeting and we're going to go out to dinner, or we're going to go to a show, student
uh
union.
my friend Brianna and we got breakfast in August and we met.
Okay. Yeah,
So
I think most of us have done that. All right. Have you
we
gone?
we once went to a pizza place that was kind of walking distance from my old house.
Okay, good. All right. Have you gone down to the river?
I mean, for Halloween,
Yes.
so go back. So
Yes.
during the summer, there's this boutique that's walking distance from my house. And they were having a markdown sale where all the markdowns are $10. And I'm like, heck yes. So, because I love fashion, fun fact. And there was this flannel, and I bought it because I thought, oh, it fits, yeah. And then I walk home, and then an hour later, I just get everything out. I'm admiring it. And I think to myself, this kind of looks like what Bruce wore on the River album. So then it hits me in summer. I'm thinking, I'll be Bruce from the River. I don't know where that came from.
Yeah.
River era for Halloween. Because my freshman year of college, I was Bruce from the Darkness era. And I mean, those were kind of taken in the same year, but album cover wise and outfit wise,
Okay, got it. Okay.
So for Halloween, I decided to go to a canal. It's more of a canal, but I had a friend, he took pictures of me to make it look like I was going down the river and I was looking all like serious and sad.
Oh, wow.
Pregnancy is part of that song, and then act like she don't remember I act like I don't remember Mary acts like
yeah,
don't care. So
yeah.
Yes, and
Okay.
I think there have been times where I have gone down to rivers.
Sure. Like if you go down to Cafe de Mon, you're right there. You're on the Mississippi.
Oh,
right?
I went to the French Quarter over winter break, and my dad took a picture of me by the river.
All right, very nice.
All right. So yeah,
right.
I've gone to the river.
So have you let your ramrock rock? So I think you can take whatever you want. I think that's if you have you rocked. Have you been out dancing? Have you in your dorm room played the music up loud and danced like a fool? I think that counts if you have.
Okay, then I have.
All right. I think another one that all of us have had, you've come upon a wreck on the highway.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you got stuck in traffic. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Have you looked up at the mansion on the hill?
I'd say probably. I went to a haunted house hill.
All right.
And like never the mansion.
Yeah. Now you are still in school, so this may not apply to you, but had debts no honest man can pay. You said you're frugal, so I don't know, right?
The thing is, so college is a lot more expensive than it was when you were in college. We
absolutely, yes.
However, if we're gonna be honest,
yeah,
I have scholarships,
Right.
so it's not, I recognize that it's not gonna be as much
Okay.
as most.
All right. So I'm going to give
So
you the
I'm
point
gonna
for
say
that.
no.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes. All right. Have you wiped your fingers on a Texaco road map? Laura,
No.
have you ever seen a actual physical road map?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, but you have not used one to travel, I take it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can give me a point for that one.
Okay. You have done that or you have not?
I have not.
Okay. I do not think you've worked on the highway laying down blacktop.
That sounds,
It does sound scary, doesn't it?
well, if there's cars coming by, I mean, I doubt there is, but
Yeah. Okay.
like if you're to the side, you're
Hmm.
working on something and then you just
Yeah.
go to where the cars are and you lie down, I want to do that. So you,
Okay.
no, I haven't.
All right. Woke up with the sheets soaking wet and a freight train running through the middle of your head.
No,
No, really? You've never woken
no.
up with that, just having a bad feeling or had a nightmare?
Sometimes I don't really wake up because I have nightmares. I have
Okay.
nightmares, but I never really wake up because
Okay. All right.
I
Then we will give you a point for that. How about, did you
normally
have a
just endure them. I
did,
normally just endure the nightmares.
yeah. Did you have a friend who was a big baseball player back in high school?
No, most of the baseball players, not gonna lie, in high school,
Okay.
there's, you know, there's hierarchy, there's stratification,
Yes.
and a lot of the people in those in certain sports act like they are better.
So you wouldn't have a friend you'd call that. You don't have a friend back in high school that was even any athlete, not necessarily baseball, that you would call a friend.
Correct.
Okay, got it. All right. Have you sat around thinking about it?
What does
Anything you want, sitting around thinking
I
about it.
I do think a lot.
I
I've
do.
had
I
I've
don't
had
think you can give
people
yourself a point for that one.
I've had people say I thought I was an overthinker until I met you.
Hmm. Okay. How about lived in a dump?
Not a physical dump, but like not, I have had feelings where I've just been sick of where I live or the
Yeah.
people around or the environment around.
Okay.
But it's not as, but the living structure physically has been
Not, but it's
fine.
still in your mind, it's kind of like a town full of losers. They're not
Yeah,
really a town full of losers, but as you talked about, you wrote
it
a
was,
really good description, right? That you wrote a nice essay about that. So yeah, I
yeah.
I think
And
yeah,
Bruce, I don't think he means a physical dump. He says,
right.
I'm split here and blah, 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 you
I
know.
agree. All right. Have you had a party in a pink Cadillac?
I wish, but no.
Me too.
That
Me
one's so
too.
much fun.
That does sound fun.
Plush velvets.
Have you left your wallet back home in your working pants?
I try to remember everything,
Yes.
but one time this year, I just went out the door and I was like, oh, my keys are there. It's not a wallet, but it's a keychain with a card, and cards are money, I guess.
Yep.
So
I don't think you get a point for that one.
and
Have you?
sometimes overnight I leave that key thing
Yeah.
in my pocket, in like my pants pocket, that I'm
Yes.
gonna wear tomorrow. So I
Okay.
guess when I sleep, I put it in.
There
So
you
I
go.
don't have to look for it in the morning.
All right. Since you don't drive, we're going to see, have you ridden a big lazy car rushing up the highway in the dark?
I don't ride with speeders.
Okay. All
That
right.
that freaks me out. I mean, I guess they're speeding 5 to 10 over the limit,
Mhm.
but that's normal. Like I don't, it's like inflated, if you know what I mean. The speed
Got it.
limit, you have a number, but it's inflation, you know.
Got
But
it.
the big hyperinflation,
All right. Hey, have you put the furniture out on the front porch?
I don't think so.
Even
We don't
not
think,
during Mardi Gras or any party? You guys don't have you don't bring your chairs out on the front porch to watch the parade or to visit?
I don't think I have
Okay.
physically
Okay.
brought it out.
Okay. All right. Have you seen a one-legged dog walking down the street?
Yes,
Okay. And have you put out the dog?
I'd say so.
And have you put out the cat?
We don't have a cat. We don't have a dog, but we
Okay.
used to have a dog.
All right. And finally, have you counted the band in and kicked it into overdrive?
Does classical music count?
Absolutely, it does,
Where you
Laura.
cue, like you're supposed to cue, like you're like
Right.
blah blah blah. You count, and then you in classical music, there's a lot of breathing that you do to cue
Mm-hmm.
and to like start it off.
Right.
It always makes cueing when it's my turn to cue. I hate it. Nerve-wracking.
All right. Let me count your numbers. Yeah, I'll end up editing this out. There are possible 47 points. And you, my friend, got, as I pull up Excel, you got 20 out of 47. So about half. You said there was about half you would not do. So very, very well done. Very nice. So are there any of these you're going to use as a goal? Like now that you have this, like, okay, I need to get some of these. I gotta do these so I can next time I can say I've experienced that.
Already in a pink Cadillac.
Oh,
I don't know how I'm gonna do that, but
yeah.
Racing in the street might be cool. If you shopping carts, then
yes. Oh, yeah. There you go.
That might be a way to get around it.
Yes.
Not driving.
I agree.
That's cool. What else? Met neath a giant Exxon. That I don't just so I can say like make it in because it's Bruce has done it or whatever, and that just sounds doable, and I could probably do that.
I think so.
I could skip school. Just kidding.
I don't want to be a bad influence, but for the right reason, I think that's a good thing to do. So yeah, I think, that could be good. All right. So what else do we need to talk about before I let you go? Nothing else? Well, it is good, as always, visiting with you. Laura, keep being awesome. Thank you so much for joining me. I can't wait to hear about the trip to Paris. If anything else you think about, you want to visit, just let me know. I appreciate you. Listeners, go be safe, go get vaccinated, go get boosted, and let's all be good to each other because that's how we're going to get through this. Thank you, Laura. Thank you, listeners. We'll talk to you soon. Goodbye. Doing a podcast at times can be a one-way conversation, and I hate that. So please let me know what you like and don't like about the work I'm doing. You can reach the podcast via email at setlistingbruce@gmail.com. The show is on Twitter at setlistingbruce, and my personal Twitter is at jessejacksondfw. We have a website, www.setlistingbruce.com. From there, you can find links to other Springsteen podcasts as well as other music-themed podcasts. We have a page devoted to our own SLB All-Star Band. These are guests who have been on the podcast more than 3 times. There is a link to our store where you can purchase Set Listing Bruce shirts as well as a Merry Question t-shirt. There is a link to our Patreon page where you can sign up to help support the podcast financially. We have different levels and different rewards based on your support. If you don't have any extra cash, and right now, who does? You can support the podcast by subscribing via your favorite podcast player and leaving us a review. The more reviews we have, the easier it is for people to find us. And please tell a friend about the podcast, especially if they love Bruce or music, because it will make a difference. You just heard the fun talking, hard rocking, music loving, album ranking, fan thinking, joy spreading, lyric reading, story sharing podcast that is the one, the only Set Listing Bruce. The theme for Set Listing Bruce was written by David Rosen, used by permission.